Shinrone is special because it's a really nice place to live and the people are nice too.
We used to be down here when we were kids playing.
Yeah, catching prickings, I think.
Prickings in the nets, right?
Shinrone is special because it's where I grew up and it's the place I want to live for the rest of my life.
For some reason, it seems the little village of Shinrone in County Offaly is special. For one thing, in 1963 it was the subject of an extensive Irish television documentary series called Our Parish.
It was exciting, like television had only started 2 years before that. So it was exciting, like it was our first time to be ever on television.
1963. I was 2.5 years of age then, and I remember. Because RT they spent quite a while here, 6 or 8 weeks I think, going all over the parish.
Yeah.
And they were down in Bristol. And they filmed there was my cabinet who was involved in the ICA at the time.
Yeah.
And some of their colleagues making gloves down there. And all the neighbours were invited in, including myself, we were toddlers at the time.
Yeah. The original series has disappeared, but RTE revisited the village in 1967, and for a while, once again, all eyes were on Shinrone.
Did you look at the old video of Shinrone filming Shinrone?
I had a chance to see it. I had a chance to see it for the first time in years there recently, and it really brought me back. It made me really aware of how much the place has improved in the meantime.
Yeah. Oh, the village has improved a good bit.
Yeah.
I watched it about 6-7 years ago.
The RTE cameras are long gone, but many residents remember when Shinrone was once again in the limelight.
I suppose for a village just the size of Shinrone, we can brag about having some of the best artists in the country, including the Pogues. The Pogues actually played here. Arlo Guthrie played here. Bono from U2 was here as a spectator.
No, I didn't see Arlo Guthrie. He wasn't my type of music, no. Daniel O'Donnell and Louise Morrissey, any country like that.
And we had Brendan Grace.
Dickie Rock back in his days, Brendan Boyer, Joe Dolan started playing here in Shinrone as a young man.
We had Nancy Griffith from America. We had the Water Boys actually. I thought the best concert that was here was the Water Boys.
Alas, it's been more than 2 decades since big-name stars graced Shinrone's Community Hall stage.
The main reason why that ceased was that I think the bands were taking too much of a bigger percentage at the time. We were taking all the risk and they were taking all the money. That's the way I looked at it anyway.
But in 2009, Shinrone found yet another claim to fame with the election of Barack Obama as President of the United States. However, when the President did make a visit to County Offaly, he came not to Shinrone, but to Moneygall.
Whoever would have thought we would have had a connection with an American president? Have you just seen the Obama?
Yeah, sure. His family actually originated from here, and actually moved to Moneygall. Even though Moneygall took all the credit and everything.
Yeah, they got. We were a bit slow to move off the block here.
Off the map or on the map, residents, whether locally born and bred or blown in on the wind, continue to insist that Shinrone is special in countless ways.
Well, Shinrone is a lovely little village. I mean, it's quiet. The pace of life here is much slower than what I'd be used to where I'm from.
Yeah, I remember when I came here first and up our way, somebody would call in for a cup of tea. And I found that very strange. I said, how would you go and knock on someone's house and say, hi, I'm here for the cup of tea? But it was just a way of getting to know you and to welcome you into the place.
Yeah.
I found that very, very strange, because you know, in a town, you know your neighbour, you know your next door neighbour, but you don't be hopping the walls the whole time.
Yeah, when I was young, when I was living at home, our house would have been an open type of house, and people would just literally call in for a cup of tea and a chat, and that was the acceptable thing to do. And we did it. We went to our next door neighbours' houses. We wouldn't even knock on the door. We would just walk in, and if there was dinner going on or tea going on, we'd sit in, or vice versa. So
I suppose my very important discovery was that it is quality of life.
Yeah.
That the Irish had and still have ahead of many people on the continent. And now I would say that nothing better could have happened to me but to come to Ireland, and I suppose to this little known place of Shinrone, and we live in the heart of Ireland, don't we? So that's also great.
I'll agree with that. After all these years now, I mean, if somebody paid me to go back, I would not go back to London.
I see in the towns, people they look after their next door neighbours very well, and they look after their neighbours. But I think in the country, they seem to go the extra mile, and they're watching out for people sick. They want to lift. The kids want to lift to school. They want to lift to hurling, and that's very evident out there at the moment, I think.
Oh, it is. I mean, sure. All you've got to do is come down here to the car park any evening, and you see the kids going off to matches, and they're loading them up into the cars, and you never feel guilty if you can't get there, because you always know that there's someone going to take the child and look after them for you and bring them back as they went. It's a nice village. There is good camaraderie in it. You know, it's a nice place to live, a nice place to grow up and bring your kids up. I think I'm glad I made the move here anyway.
Great.
It's a fantastic village because it has all the facilities there that anybody would require, except the swimming pool there, within the centre of the village, and it's a striking distance of all the children there, and they have every kind of facility there now in one small particular place, which is a marvellous. You don't see the like of it. I don't know of any other town or village in the country that has so many facilities in such a small area.
But you're enjoying yourself now and you're out dancing.
I'm dancing now.
You're dancing all the time now.
I love the old-time dancing.
There's the old-time dancing, yes, yeah. And that's keeping his legs super. He got his hip done too, or his knee or something.
I had my two knees replaced.
What part have we got
And I'm going on great, thank God.
Outstanding feature in the parish and in the village of Shinrone is the Knockshigana, which means the hill of the fairy calf. That was the hill where the queen of the fairies of Munster lived. And in 1949, when we had received the electricity here in Shinrone, the people of the parish decided to erect a lighted cross on the top of the hill, which today can be seen for miles around when it's lit up. It's generally lit up of a Sunday and holy days of obligation, and so it's an outstanding feature in the parish of Shinrone.
Seen the last couple of months with the bad weather in terms of the farming community that they're really working together, and even on roads where there's farmers, some have their feed for their cattle and others are short, so they're all working together, which I think is a great community spirit out there.
Yeah, but the community spirit with the farmers, I think, goes on longer than just the bad weather. It seems to go on the whole year round. I mean, even when they're doing their hay, and I'm not from a farming background, but they seem to be kind of spreading the load, if that's the word. They come and they share one another's feed, and it goes on the whole year, which I think is great.
Shinrone is special because we have an awesome camogie team and the people are really close-knit in the community.
Shinrone is special because we have unreal hurling teams.
We have class sports teams and the people are fair sound.
It's springtime now in Farclough Mile, and on the old fair green the shamrock peeps o'er Ormond's plains and clusters round Locheen. It grows beside the old bog road and girds the golden vale. Where Wolftown sleeps, it blooms again, though March winds round it rage. So here's to one I'll always love, no matter where I roam. 'Twas sent to me in friendship warm, a shamrock from Shinrone.
My first introduction, I suppose, to Kilmurray Graveyard was as a young boy of 10 years of age. Our lands would have been bounds in it, and I would have played in this graveyard. Maybe not the ideal thing for some people, but as a young child, that's what we did. But as I got older, I suppose Kilmurray, because we were around it so much, I found it a peaceful place. Anybody that comes down here would see the old grave headstones and the newer ones. So there are burial rites still here. It is used still, even though there is a newer graveyard near to the village now. On my left-hand side here is what's called a bier, B-I-E-R. It's noticeable that there's no actual gates to drive a hearse or whatever way at the time, even in the older days, that the coffin was brought into the graveyard. So what was done, it was taken from at that time, in the early times, I suppose, from a horse and cart, and in the modern times from our hearses. But the coffin would have been taken out of the vehicle involved and placed on top of the iron frame. The pallbearers then would walk through the two stile gates, pick up the coffin and bring it off the bier and onto the last place of rest for the loved ones.
Above all now, what makes Shinrone very special is the community and the people of the parish and the village. Down through the years they have put their back to the wheel when things weren't so good, and they rode in behind any project that was put to them.
The people of this parish, a tremendous group of people, work together better than any other community that I know anywhere around this area.
One of the things that we have in Shinrone, that when there's people need it, or somebody's in dire straits or a situation, they come together to help out.
So it seems that what really makes Shinrone special is what makes any community a community. What makes a village home.
It's the people. the people of this parish, a tremendous group of people